Hey folks, it's JD here, and today we're looking at this beast. This is the Syma X5UW. This quadcopter is packed full of interesting features, which we'll go into in a second. So what we'll do is let's open her up, let's have a look what's inside, and then we'll go from there. So, there's a little bit of, there we go, little bit of sellotape there, just snip through that. And then once you open up, you will be greeted with this polystyrene housing. So if we open up this, then on the inside, this is what we've got. Look how professional this is. So we've got everything everywhere by the look of it. So let's concentrate on the accessories first. Then we'll come back to the copter and the transmitter. Alright, so in the accessory bag, we have got 4 spare propellers, and also, if we open up this accessory bag, we have 4 propeller protectors, screwdriver, as well as USB charger for the battery, and a little card reader for the SD card, which I'm pretty sure that would make me think that there's an SD card included with it. So let's tidy this up and then we'll have a little look at the interesting part. So that's the accessories. Very quick because I want to get on to the copter. So let's just pop those down there. Right, let's get back to this. So here we go. As you can see, we've got the copter, we've got the transmitter, we've also got the camera here as well. So if I take the camera out, put that to one side, let's take out the copter. Oh, there's also, underneath there, looks like there's an attachment for the transmitter, and also there is the transmitter as well. So it's been a very long time since I've reviewed a Syma copter. And this one, well, this looks fantastic. So, as you can see, very, very shiny red. Lovely circular shape to it. Very nice looking propeller arms as well. All moulded off single plastic. Underneath it, this is where we've got to fit the Wi-Fi camera. So, let's open up the camera bag. Oh, surely enough, in the back of the camera, you will find a 4GB SD card. Attached to the camera is this little cable here, which fits directly in the center of the quadcopter. So let's pop that in. Okay, so now we have got, that's the fiddly bit done. That's the cable in. And then what you've got to do is, without trapping the cable, you've got to feed it back into the camera and then twist and lock. So that is what you're left with. So you're left with the Syma camera locked in completely straight. And there we are. That's nice. You could even, wouldn't recommend it, but you could even hold the Syma copter from the camera. So that lets you know it's all in completely safe and secure. So now we've got the camera connected. Let's carry on looking at this copter itself. So, from the back, you've got a new type of battery that we haven't seen very much of making its way into the toy sector, and that is one of these batteries. So you normally get the big slide-out batteries in your Phantoms and in your much larger copters. This one obviously made its way into this particular copter. What a fantastic little device. So you can buy a specialist charger for this. Obviously we've got the USB charger that comes with the copter, but you can also buy a little dock where you can buy up to, which can hold up to 3 of these batteries, all slotted in, so you could have all 3 of them charging at the same time, unplug all 3, take 3 with you for extended flights as well. So if we just plug that back in, easy way to know which way to plug in. On the inside there, you've got a little red plug. The little red plug slots into there. So, there we go. Once you've clicked it in, then that's it. You're all safe and secure, ready to go. To unlatch it, you've got a little white hook there. So you just push that button down, and then with a little pull, out comes the battery. Okay, so that's the copter. The on and off button at the top as well, that's quite impressive. Hold it down for 2 seconds, and then the copter becomes active. You know it's active because you've got the 2 orange LEDs denoting the front and the 2 green LEDs denoting the back. So once again, to turn it off, push and hold for 2 seconds, and the lights go out. The copter is now off. Don't forget, if you're ever stuck with knowing which way this copter faces, camera always faces front, battery always faces back. So if you are flying this without the camera, don't worry. Just look for the battery at the back. You can see it quite easily because there's a little bit of a gap here between the battery plastic and the main copter. And this little bit here, you can see, you can definitely make out this is the back of the copter. So 4 propellers already attached. Obviously, we've got the spare propellers should they be needed as well. So yeah, I'm really... The Syma seem to have really outdone themselves again. It seems like a really great copter. Because obviously we're used to an older style Syma copter, one like this. You can really see how the generations have progressed. So you've got the older type here and you've got the newer type here. You can see the newer type is slightly lower to the ground. Its landing sprigs are completely connected just by these little screws, whereas these landing sprigs here just pull off. He says, there we are, just pull out. It's also made, this is made of a lot sturdier plastic. It feels really sturdy. The plastic doesn't dent either when you push it, whereas this one is really quite quite flimsy. So you can see in the, you know, their products, they're going through a generational change, it seems. And yeah, I do approve. I got to say, it really does seem a big step up from what they were doing. So let's just go into some of the features. So some of the features of this copter is that you've got altitude hold, so it has a built-in barometer, so therefore it will hold to a particular altitude. It's got a 2 megapixel built-in 720p camera on the front here, which is Wi-Fi, so you can hook it up to your smartphone, be it Android or iOS. That then gives you FPV. So you can fly then with having first-person view, so you can see exactly what this camera is seeing as you're flying. Also, to go hand in hand with that as well, is you've got flight plans. So when you connect the Syma up to your phone, then you can actually draw a flight plan, and the Syma copter will then follow that plan that you've drawn. Now, I've seen this before in the MJX, and that didn't work at all. Obviously, we know the larger Phantoms, the flight plans, as soon as you draw, it goes up to the altitude and it follows directly using GPS. These non-GPS quadcopters, I find, tend not to be very accurate when it comes to flight plan. So obviously, we'll see how it goes when we take this out. I could be wrong. If I am, fantastic. I hope I'm wrong. Because so far, I've tested 1 out of 1 with flight plan and that failed. Other couple of things as well, you've got 3D flipping. So obviously you've got the ability to do stunts. And because this is still a quite low to the ground copter, really quite light copter, and quite small, it should flip and right itself really quite easily as well. Not like the larger copters which flip and then they can't get back up to the altitude unless you go full on the throttle, which then of course drains battery quite a bit as well. So other couple of things as well, we've got headless mode, flashing LED lights as you saw on the underside here. Obviously Wi-Fi transmitter, HD camera. So this quadcopter is packed full of features. I really can't wait to take her out and test her on them. So let's just clear up this desk a little bit. And now what we'll do is we'll move the quadcopter to one side and we'll have a little look at this. Look at that. It's a completely redesigned transmitter. So if I've got, let me see, if I got another Syma transmitter here. So this is the Syma transmitter that we saw for the white X5C that I just held in front of the camera a little while ago. So as you can see, it's your standard quadcopter size. It's quite big and chunky. Little telemetry screen down the bottom, and that's pretty much all you've got. This new one, look at that, very stylish. got a nice curved edges, nice sleek plastic. Obviously, as this has a barometer built in, you can see this left analog stick here is constantly setting itself back to the middle. That then shows you that this copter has got a barometer built in. There are a number of buttons at the top here as well. So the buttons, what they do is you've got photo and video, 360 flip, and this one is going to be fantastic. This one is short press for auto takeoff and landing. So all you've got to do is click it once and she'll take off and get to an altitude. You've got to push it again and she'll land herself and turn off the motors. Absolutely fantastic. I've not seen that properly work once again without the ability of GPS. So I'm hoping that this copter proves me wrong and proves that that button will work flawlessly. Once again, I really can't wait to take it out. So a couple of other things you might notice. A little bit of design here, I guess. I'm not too hot on it, to be honest with you. I think it works well here, and the fact that it hasn't got a telemetry scheme because it uses your smartphone, that is a big bonus. Because when you hold it in your hand, I mean, the transmitter is quite large, but with a person with large hands as well, it actually fits really, really, really well. It does feel a little bit slippery on the sides. Normally, with the larger transmitters, you normally have a set of grooves cut out of the plastic, just so that it'll fit nice in hand. This doesn't, but then to be honest with you, it does feel a bit slippery, but it doesn't feel as if it's going to fall out of my hand. So that itself is quite good. If we flip her over, we have got 4 AA batteries in here. The transmitter does not allow USB charging or any sort of charging, so you will have to supply your own charged batteries, and or if you're charging your own, make sure you charge them up externally before you plug them into this transmitter. So we've also got this little piece here. If we unplug this, oh, it's going to take a little bit. There we go. Then this is where our FPV screen assembly kit will fit as well. So for this, it's best if you hold the transmitter towards you, and then once you've got it, lined up, click it in, and it is quite a definite click. If I take that out, I'll show it to you again. This time I'll show it to you your way. So when you click it, it's got a definite click, and then you know that is in solidly, and that's not going to come out. Once again then, if you've got your smartphone, all you would do is you'd pull open on the clips, and then you've got 2 rubber bits. A little rubber bit here, and a little rubber bit under there as well. Those 2 bits clasp your smartphone like so. So therefore, as you're flying, you've got a perfect view there of whatever the quadcopter is seeing. Absolutely perfect. And what's more, once you take it off, there's no marks either. Perfect. So that's one other good thing, because sometimes you will have no rubber bits in here, no kind of support, and you'll have the smartphone sliding about, and it can get quite messy, especially if the smartphone falls on the floor. So that's a really nice little bit of attention to detail. So your antenna looks like these little 2 on the side here. So as you can see, they've done away with the great big thing that sticks out the middle. Instead, you've just got your FPV screen holder. But yeah, these 2 little aerials, perfect, absolutely great. Even if you weren't to use the transmitter, the FPV, then these you would hardly notice them. They wouldn't get in the way. As well as using the transmitter, you can use your smartphone to fly the quadcopter. We'll be giving that a go as well if we have enough battery in this little device. Battery time is you're normally looking between 8 and 11 minutes. So to be honest with you, that's right in between the ballpark, which is pretty standard for most quadcopters around for today. So I'm really excited. This is a new style Syma. It's a new style transmitter. It's packed full of amazing features, and I really can't wait to take her out and flight test her. So please join me in the next couple of days, my friends, when we're going to take this out and we're going to put it through her paces and see whether the auto landing, auto takeoff and flight plan, if that works according to plan. So until then, my friends, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. Please like this video if you have indeed liked this video. Whack some comments in the comments if you want to, if you've flown this, if you haven't, good experiences, bad experiences, or if you just want to let me know what you think of the video. I'd be very appreciative of that. All right then, my friends. So until next time, happy flying.